Hi, I'm Alan Wu, Developer Marketing Manager for the Amazon App Store. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about Amazon Fire TV with Amazon developer evangelist Mike Hines. So Mike, tell me, why would a developer want to get their games or apps on Amazon Fire TV?
3 reasons, Alan. 1, with Fire TV, all of a sudden you get presence in the living room on a lot more screens in front of people who've probably never seen your app before. That's a lot of exposure to potential customers. 2, think of the games that you can create when you have that big HD TV in front of you and a full-featured game controller that you can program to accept user input. Also, the device itself is very powerful, and you can get a lot of really exciting interactions, especially with 2 gig of onboard application memory. Third, actually, you have to remember it is Android, so it's relatively low investment. For developers who've been coding Android, it's going to be very familiar.
That sounds like an exciting opportunity for developers. Is it a lot of work to port an app to Amazon Fire TV?
Actually, Alan, if you're an Android developer, I'd rather not say port. I think that implies a little bit too much work. Because it is an Android app, really there are just a couple things you need to do. 1, make sure that you're respecting the 10-foot living room experience. Imagine sitting on your couch looking at the HD TV 10 feet at the other end of the hall with your gamepad, so making sure that that works. 2, you need to make sure that your inputs or user inputs are optimized for either the gamepad or the Fire TV remote control. That's pretty much the extent of your work.
Now, we see a lot of big names out there on Amazon Fire TV, like Asphalt 8, Minecraft, and Sub-Zero, and these games use a lot of the device's powerful processor and graphics potential. What about the little guys? What about the dev shops that may not have the resources to really use the device's full potential? Is this a good opportunity for them too?
Oh, absolutely. Amazon Fire TV really levels the playing ground in the living room environment. Certainly well-capitalized game firms have been on consoles for a long time, but now the little guy can also get in the living room in front of all of those customers. I mean, just look at how well Badlands is doing. I mean, that's a great example. Also, because it's an Android platform, it's really easy for the little guy to get in the living room. And if you're coming from a platform, say writing C#, and you decide to write an Android app for Fire TV, that also now exposes your game to all of the Android players on mobile devices. It's good either way you're going.
Sounds like a lot of developers are already jumping in on this. Let's talk about something that really matters to developers: monetization.
Absolutely. With Amazon Fire TV, you can, of course, sell your apps and games on the platform. And because Fire TV is compatible with the Amazon in-app purchase API, you can also charge for items in your game. For example, you can charge for consumables like power-ups. You can charge for entitled or durable things like swords or graphics kits for your car. You can even have subscription items. So you can think of some really creative ways to weave monetization into your game.
Okay, so let's say I'm a game developer and I have a few Android titles that I'd like to get on Amazon Fire TV. What are the steps that I need to take to get my titles on this device?
3 really important things I want you to remember. First is actually thinking about that 10-foot experience. We talked a little bit about the living room experience earlier, but it's also important to remember that Amazon Fire TV doesn't display the action bar of Android applications. So making sure your application looks good and works good without that is important. And also, make sure that you have clear separation between your UI elements. High saturation colors on most HD TVs can tend to bleed those really close elements together, and that wouldn't look good. Second thing is making sure you've picked the right controller and right input for your game. So if the game is best used with a remote control, that's great. If it's best with a game controller, that's great too. If you do choose to optimize for a game controller, please remember that when the user is in a menu, the B button will be expected to provide back functionality. So please make sure you include that when you're designing for your controller. Third thing, you're not going to do very well if you don't submit your app. So third, I'd like you to go ahead and submit or resubmit your application and make sure that you check the Fire TV box in the binary tab under device support.
So basically, optimize your app for a 1080p screen resolution, add some code to make sure that the Amazon Fire TV remote and game controller works, and upload your APK on the dev portal as you normally would. Does that sound about right?
That's about right.
Sounds easy enough. Mike, this all sounds very exciting, and I'm sure a lot of our viewers out there would agree. But you know as well as I do that a lot of developers just don't have a lot of time on their hands. And would you say jumping in now is really the time to get discovered?
It is. Really, the number of application submissions for Amazon Fire TV just keeps growing. So there really isn't a whole lot of time to waste there. I do appreciate that developers are looking for a way to get additional help in marketing and developing their apps in exchange for their effort. And what I want to point out is that when you submit your app, you also get consideration for the App Store Developer Select program on Fire TV. This is a special bonus for Fire TV developers that will get you 500,000 coins, Amazon coins, that you can then use to set up promotions for your users so that they can get these coins and spend them on apps or in-app purchase items. This is in addition to the regular App Store Developer Select program, which gives people 500,000 free ad impressions, it gives you a discount on AWS products, and it gives you additional coins incentives as well. I really recommend that you go and check out developer.amazon.com/select for more program details, because this really is a fantastic program to help developers get discovered.
Awesome. Well, Amazon Fire TV sounds like a great way for developers to get on more screens in front of more customers. But before we go, where can a developer go to get more information on how to get started with Fire TV?
They can go to developer.amazon.com/Amazon Fire TV.
Great. Well, thanks for coming in today, Mike.
Thank you, Alan.